Hello. Today I'm meeting with Olivia Erimshah from Branco Solutions. I am looking forward to our talk. My name is Feri Nase. I'm the founder and CEO of Me Time Healing Platform. And I have Olivia here. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes. First of all, thank you so much for having me in the session, Ferry. It's a great opportunity for me to speak and share my experiences. As you said, my name is Olivia, and for 1.5 years right now, I've been living in Canada, and I came here as an international student and as an expat. So I founded Brango Solutions. I'm a full-time working professional, and I was a international student too. So thanks.
Wonderful. Well, today's topic is very, very dear to my heart. I've been through the expat experience myself years ago. I've been through that long journey with all the ups and downs and with all the happy moments and the challenging moments. So, you're starting fresh in a new country in Canada, which is a beautiful country. And, however, it's still a challenging transition, obviously. And I want you to kind of tell me a little bit about your initial observation, perception of Canada. Did you go through that culture shock period? What were your, personal and professional challenges? And how did you find the coping mechanisms to blend in and do your best and start this beautiful, beautiful journey for yourself and your family?
Yeah, actually, it was a not an easy one, and because as I said, I came here last year, and I began studying first of all in a field that was completely new to me. It was an IT field, and at the same time, I started working as a fractional CMO for a startup. So it's in climate tech, and it's also a remote job. And in the meantime, I was also building my own company with my partner, which is called Brango Solution. So I was being hit with a lot of learning all at once, personal, professional, and social. So if we are talking about the challenges, I think the first one I faced was stepping out of my comfort zone for sure, because right now I'm not someone who graduated from the best schools of the country, or who worked for the biggest companies in that country anymore. I'm just a person like anyone else. So when I came here, I wasn't known by anyone either. I had to build everything from the ground up. So my social life, friendships, professional network, customers, and even my sales, and all at the same time. So I think one of the biggest challenges was establishing credibility and also introducing myself in a completely new environment, because the cultural differences were significant. As you said, like Canada is a multicultural environment, and especially because I work in a creative and experimental field, which is marketing, where people's ideas can vary a lot based on their backgrounds. So that also added another layer of complexity, but also a great learning opportunity. So if we are talking about coping with them, I think we need to consider challenges as a learning opportunities for ourselves. So I try to do this for myself.
Yeah, you just mentioned being after the pandemic, we had other layers of challenges. I mean, everybody has their own, fixed challenges with their life, with their personal life, with their professional life, with their, family life. And on top of all of this, we were given this massive, setback, and we had to also cope with that. Now, I know you have different roles in the IT sector, in the marketing sector, and as an entrepreneur, you have different sets of responsibilities as a woman. Tell me a little bit about how do you prioritize all these to-do lists, which is it can be overwhelming sometimes,
Yeah.
especially for us women. We're very empathetic. We don't say no. We want to say yes to everybody. We want to handle life even with multiple responsibilities. We want to please everyone. We want to set our goals and reach those goals, short-term goals, long-term goals. We have an eye for perfection. So how do you deal with all of that?
Okay, I think it's not easy because first of all, I am accepting the fact that I'm not the only one. There are over 12 million expatriates worldwide, especially in United States, especially in Canada. We are trying to live, work, study, and we are all coming from different countries that where we born. So if actually we are not prepared to accept that we are not the only one, and if we are not ready to embrace these new challenges, new cultures, environments, and also moving away from your roots, it's a, you feel homesick, you feel lonely, then it's not a good idea for you. And if you started to build your life in your home country, and if you are not ready to prioritize your motivations and expectations, it might not be the right match, because of,
Yeah.
you need to understand your own expectations first. I see a lot of people surrounding me, so they are student, entrepreneur, professional. Of course they have expectations when moving to another country. It can be money, it can be, a home, it can be a better professional life. So it's a big change, and it's important that your priorities and the reality of that country should be aligned. So once you made that decision and you came here, you need to prioritize your time, your personal responsibilities, and your personal well-being. So it's so easy to just skip the well-being part because we have always responsibilities. So it's really important to choose the right place first. This is actually why I chose Canada over other countries in the first place, because I knew that the environment will be more welcoming, maybe much easier. So, instead of Europe, because I need to maybe speak another language, and, it's another challenge. I don't want to include
Yeah.
that challenge to myself. So I
Yeah.
understood that starting from scratch and also a language might be a barrier. And then I just decided to go over that. So you can make decisions that suit your strengths and challenges, I think. So
Mhm.
the other thing is having a big plan, because if you don't have a plan, you just like live, as you said just earlier, you need to.
Flying in the air with no direction. And now that we're entering the season of fall, I see
Yes,
all these leaves falling, and yeah, it's the indication of the old be gone and the new season coming in. It's
yes,
complicated,
yes.
just like life. Hmm.
Exactly. Having a big plan is overwhelming itself, like the idea. But if you don't, I mean, you need to break them down into smaller, manageable milestones for yourself. For me, it was like, okay, first of all, you need to graduate. The second of all, you need to achieve a certain sales quota for your business. Then you can be a part of the professional life in Canada, etc. So this is how I think it works for, I mean, internally. This is how I feel better, but
Hmm.
also it's important to spare some time for your joy too. For example, it might be music, it might be just hanging out with friends, etc. This was the case for me, and I tried to balance
Yeah.
everything for myself.
So, we talk about different journeys. We talk about actually these are really heavy subjects
Yes,
when it comes to adjusting to a new country. There are lots of cultural barriers. There are lots of linguistic barriers, and the other barriers that we don't see. So, what are the, how do you take care of your physical health? How do you take care of your mental health is also very important. So, when I say coping mechanisms, that's what I'm saying. We have to find the right system for
Yeah.
us. Everybody's different, of course. And what are the challenges that you have faced when it comes to finding the right doctor or finding the right counselor for your stress and anxiety management, for your physical health. Tell me a little bit about that experience, Olivia.
Yes. I think there are two ways, I mean, to answer this question. The first of all, the language barrier also is also coming here too, because
Mhm,
once you are talking about your emotions and your internal challenges, you need to express yourself in your native language. Because I mean, there is a joke like people are speaking multiple language and no one really knows how often you are in your native language. Actually, it's like, yes, you are trying to express yourself, but sometimes it's just not quite enough. So I think having a person that you can try to cope with your challenges, it can be your professional or social challenges,
mhm,
it's key. Otherwise, I don't think it's like very easy to overcome them. So I always try to surround myself people that can speak the same language that I can. And also
mhm,
having a professional help in my language, it's very helpful for me, because if also the provider or the expert has same pathway as I have, it's like a great match for me. And I
mhm.
think people are understanding each other's challenges if they have the same challenges. So I think it's really important. And
It
in
makes
terms,
sense. Yeah.
yeah, and also in terms of physical side, last year I was generally at home because I was mostly working from home. It was like I had the winter depression. It was so easy to hate the other people. You know that, right? Because you don't see
Yeah,
any
we all
yes,
experience that. Don't worry, you're not alone.
yes, but right now, I am socializing with people at the office environment, so I feel more human, I think.
More connected. Well,
Exactly.
I manage an eye care clinic, Maryland Eye Institute, and I've worked in medical industry for over 20 years.
Mhm.
So knowing a doctor that can speak your language, it's so comforting. And when I see our patients come in and they are specifically requesting doctors that speak their native language, it's an experiment that for them to it's a positive experiment for them to find the right doctor first, of course, and finding a doctor that can speak their language is a second layer of comfort. So when they can, when they explain themselves and what they're going through, they feel more connected and
Mhm.
heard. So connecting to a doctor is very important, but being heard is the second layer that completes that experience. And it's very common, and I know this because of my circle of professionals that even when they look for a lawyer, they want to talk to a lawyer that really speaks what they've gone through as an expat, right? So immigration is, if it's an immigration lawyer or business lawyer or different areas of law, and it's always more comfortable to find the right person. And this, I think it applies to so many different layers. And when you're in a new environment or a new country, you always seek for someone that you can people that you can connect with. And when you're creating this network for yourself, you look for familiarities, and familiarities bring people together,
Yeah.
whether it's the way you smile, whether it's the way you greet. These are the things that immediately connect people. And first impression is very important, especially for entrepreneurs like me and you. It's a lonely world. You're mostly working from home. It's an hours of hours, and we were just talking with you a couple minutes ago, before we started the live, that we work long hours, and sometimes we have no weekends. It
Yeah.
could be a 7-day work environment, and we tend to forget about our health, our sanity, and but as you said, we really need to prioritize our social life, our mental and physical health, and in addition to having a successful life.
Yeah.
And as immigrants, we work 10 times more to make an impact and to make a space in whatever industry we are. And but it's very rewarding at the same time,
Yes, I was gonna say the same thing. It's challenging,
because
but
yeah,
rewarding.
yeah. So tell me about that. Now that we came to that point, what are your what motivates you? What are your growth, what path? I mean, you've have changed your life 360 degrees, and what motivates you to do more, and what is personal and professional growth mean to you?
Okay. Internal motivations are, I mean, depending on for sure the situations, but for me, the first at first is having a peaceful life. I mean, like not making hundreds of millions of dollars. For sure, money is like the key of happiness.
Rewarding. It's
Yes,
rewarding. It's rewarding.
yes, the ability to have the things easier, it's of course a good thing, but if you have the peace, I mean the internal peace with your couple, with your friends, and also the purpose of your job is important. So the thing that we are trying to achieve at Brango, we are focusing on the positive outcome industries. So of course everybody's industry and everybody's businesses are very valuable, but if you are working for a positive outcome, I mean, having a positive impact on people's life, on education, on mental health, on the change of climate or the food quality, these are all of the challenges that we are trying to cope with all together. And these are affecting the whole, all of our lives too much right now. So
Mm-hmm.
we are trying to, and me, I am trying to position myself, okay, let's be a part of it, let's make your like the best thing that you can do, and then you can be internally peaceful.
Yeah.
So I think the
And
best,
that reflects.
yes, that reflects, and people are passionate about these things, and I love to be surrounded by that people like you, the entrepreneurs who are trying to achieve a really meaningful thing for people. So I think this is the main motivation for me.
Thank you. I feel the same. Having worked in climate tech sector, I'm sure you've experienced a lot of climate anxiety, where it's coming all these. We're being bombarded by media about volcanoes erupting and the hurricanes coming to our town, and water pollution. The all these aftermaths of climate situations that are affecting almost everyone. It used to be that these were happening in tropical areas and far, far away from me. And now I'm like every day I'm being bombarded by news that something is happening in our neck of the wood. So what kind of being coming from that tech sector, what has been rewarding, first of all? What are the rewarding sides of being part of that hurdle? And what are the challenges of, being in that environment and constantly, focusing on the impacts of climate anxiety?
Yes. I think, first of all, maybe you've seen like 2 3 days ago, there was a big event in Florida. So there
Mm-hmm.
was a tornado and it was like category 5. So people have died and they lost their homes and everything. So it's not about only a place. It's not about only Florida, only Miami, only Turkey. So
Oh,
it's about whole world. And having worked in this sector, I mean, daily basis, we are witnessing firsthand how the weight of addressing global issues. But in the meantime, as you said, it's affecting our mental health too, because when I first started in the field, I felt like a complete beginner. Even some terms were pretty new to me. Then my role was significant and my knowledge was like limited. And I think all of us pretty much in the same way, because we think that we are knowing the stuffs, but there are a lot of things that we don't even, know and aware of. So I had to, first of all, immerse myself. I needed to read, I needed to join the communities, constantly seeking for information. Then actually I when I more learned, then the more anxiety I felt. So
mm-hmm.
working in an industry, focusing on these challenges is complex. Why it's complex? Because on the one hand, you are contributing the solutions. Yes, it's striving to make a positive impact, but at the same time, you come face to face with the enormity of the problem, and you have like a little impact as yourself. Even you want to do the more, you have the limitations as a human being.
Mm-hmm.
So no
Yeah.
matter how hard you try, if it often seems like a reference just drop in the ocean. So but still it's like being a part of it, and even discussing on it, and even raising the awareness, it's pretty rewarding for me as a person. And balancing the desire to make a difference with the need of take care of yourself mentally and emotionally, I think it's an
Certainly. Yeah.
ongoing battle. I can tell.
It's yeah, especially when you are in an environment where you don't have that large network of support
Yes.
coming from your family or from your you know uh, friends or your professional circle that you have left behind.
Yes.
So it's like swimming in a new ocean,
It's
all alone, trying to survive the hurdles. Now, so what we talked about all these challenges, and as women, we can handle challenges. We know how to maneuver around them. We have good days and bad days,
yes.
but so what you know how do you build resilience? We go through these challenges, but we also have to overcome them, right? So
Mhm.
what tools have helped you throughout your journey to stay resilient and to thrive in whatever your goals are? What uh, paths that you have taken have failed you, and
Mhm.
what paths that you have taken has giving you that strength to go the extra mile?
Yes.
So share your journey, and we're hoping that people are listening to this, and we're kind of giving them the idea that they're not alone in this journey. There are
Yeah.
so many entrepreneurs and expats out there that are going through these ups and downs and these challenges.
Mhm. Yes. I think building resilience is hard, and if you're in a new country, it's even more hard. I mean, harder than everything. I think because I always consider myself as a resilient person that can like rock as I'm as strong as a rock. But when I came here last year, and everything, as I said, hit me at all once, I felt like, I felt all the emotions that I have never felt before. I was missing my family too much. I felt homesick. I was feeling like very away from my friends and their people. I mean, lives are like just flowing, and I'm very far from everything, from my professional life at a certain place. So, and I started to question myself. I started to hesitate actually. So once you started to do these hesitations to yourself, I think this is the worst thing that you can do yourself as an expat, because you
Mm-hmm.
need to remind you always need to remind yourself why you came here at the first place, what
Mm-hmm.
you were seeking for, and what you found so far. Because on the way, we just forgot. We are forgetting the things that we, initially wanted to have. And right now, actually, in the daily basis, I have these thoughts. But sometimes I feel like, why I didn't do this like that? Because we are actually getting out of the comfort zone, and now we
Mm-hmm.
can see the potential, internal potential that we can have. Then
Yes.
this is something, it's bothering me, but also it's giving me like, okay, I can do everything now. I mean, it's also a strong point. So building
Yes.
resilience, I mean, first of all, in getting know yourself better, and also setting realistic expectations for yourself. And if you are not celebrating your small wins, let's say you got a new customer, right? And I had never an opportunity to have a new customer in my home country because I have never tried. So this is something very new, very challenging, but I got it. So I needed to celebrate this, but instead of this, I'm being hard on myself.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be hard on yourself actually. Okay, it's easy to push yourself too hard, but take break and take it easy. So I think this is how we can build the resilience. But I think don't feel lonely and ask for help is my main thing, because resilience also means asking for help, because you're aware in yourself and you try to solve the problem. So there is no shame in seeking professional support. And especially you're feeling lonely and overwhelmed as I am. So on one cognitive therapy might be a solution, or surrounding yourself with like-minded people might be another solution. So we don't have to like have all the answers ourselves. Sometimes experts can provide the guidance, and we need to keep going. We need to use these opportunities for ourselves. So I think this is really important when we try to build our resilience.
Yeah, you really nailed it, Olivia. Thank you so much for sharing that. I've gone through the same challenges when I moved to United States, and I wish that back then, when I was a student, there were resources like Me Time Healing that are online. Just one click away. You answer a couple of questions, and you're matched with five clinical psychologists that are there to help you. They're trained. They have cognitive behavior therapy. They have years of therapy that experience that they can provide to you and guide you through your tough journey. And you said something very important. There is not one solution. I think in every aspect of life, you have to try to find your own way. You can find happiness in nature. You can find happiness in music and dancing.
Yeah.
Studies have shown over and over. Science has shown that music is a healer. That art in any form is can heal a human mind, and just incorporating these small strategies in your life can make tremendous impact in your well-being. And now we see more and more workplaces that are aware of mental health, and they're supporting their staff. Their team is their asset. So that's what is your bread and butter, and you need to really protect that. And there are leaders out there that I do admire, like Dan Simons.
Mm.
I admire his approach, and there are lots of leaders out there that they really care for their company, the outcome of their company. And that is uh, having that those sensitivity chips really adds on, and helps your company thrive. um,
Yeah.
that being said, I want you to tell me a little bit about your, entrepreneurial, advantages. And as an expat, we think differently,
Yeah.
right? When you're in a certain culture, you kind of become jaded. But then when you're coming from a different culture and you're like plugged in
Yeah.
to where you are, you have a new perspective, you have a different keen eyes to perfection, to see those little details that can
Mhm.
bring a company from just good average to an excellent result. And I do believe that bringing these new sets of eyes is always makes a huge difference in the outcome of your corporation. So tell me a little bit about your experience in that. What gives you that competitive edge compared to your competitions
Mhm.
in in your professional life.
Yeah. I'm
Give us examples.
I'm actually thinking of, I mean, both of my experiences right now as an entrepreneur and as a professional, full-time worker. The thing that I noticed, once you have the entrepreneur, because you eliminate all the limits and also all the setbacks, some cases, and you are able to contribute more because you have the flexibility to, touch base on your um, capabilities, on your strong points, and all of your cultural background sometimes can be an advantage. And
Mhm,
it's good to use this as an advantage. And you, because as for example, for marketing, once I came to Canada, I have never thought that I was going to start a business on marketing. But then I saw that the marketing knowledge and marketing creativity that we have in my country, in my home country, is actually kind of richer than here, United States and Canada. So I thought that, okay, let's use this creativity, let's use this, sense of thinking differently. Then you
mhm,
can build different approaches for yourself, for your business. And I think it's contributing to our business too much right now. We are
mhm,
proposing the different ways of working, and people like it. And people
mhm.
like never thought of
Because you have a different perspective. Your
exactly.
perspective is so different than that jaded perspective. Because everybody thinks this way, and you have a fresh, set of eyes that looks at the same problem with a different from a different angle.
Yeah.
So it does give you the advantages,
Yes.
uh, experiment. So when you're focused on your business, do you sometimes feel that you ignore your health and your mental and physical health?
Yeah.
And what motivates you to kind of take that break and take that uh, time for yourself to feel better and to recharge?
Yes.
Where do you find comfort for
Okay.
your soul?
Actually, I think that I developed myself too much compared to last year, because I remember, because we are always talking about the good things, but if you are an entrepreneur, you are losing your customers too. So it's a nature of being an entrepreneur. And I lost a customer, and my reaction was crying. So it was not professional at all, and I took it personally, and I felt like, oh my god, I'm not gonna make this happen, I'm not gonna achieve this. But when once this gonna happen one more time, I think I knew how to deal with it right now, because it's about expectations are not matching, not the right audience, not the right customer, etc. These are the whole different story. But I think not taking things personally, first of all, because it's a professional life. Even it's your business, you need to like, okay, this is business, this is myself, this is my life, this is my weekend. And most of the cases we are missing these weekends, we are missing these like evenings, social
Mhm.
reunions. And to do this, I am just having one day off, and I am not thinking about work at all, and I'm not
Mhm.
replying to anybody. And sometimes it must be hard because I know that there's an urgency there, but I said, okay, it's my off day today. I don't want to think about it. So I
Yeah.
think now I feel more productive because once you have the break, you're clarifying your mind, and it's easier to think, it's easier to contribute, and do yourself like, okay, do this at the same time. Just be easy for
Yeah.
yourself.
Yes.
Yeah,
Easy going. Yes.
easy going, exactly.
So I do want to plug in that we are having fall workshops, and for those of you who are listening and who are looking for stress management, resilience building, work-life balance strategies, we will be having in the next 3 months. We'll be having back-to-back workshops uh, to kind of bring our community together, to create this environment where people can share their personal experiences and perhaps grow together. And I welcome everyone to take it a shot, and hopefully we can touch everyone's lives, and make their a professional life a little lighter and dynamic. So we have great resources. Our clinical psychologists have developed these workshops, and we will be presenting them in the upcoming weeks. Do look out for them, and it'll be on Me Time Healing's LinkedIn page, Instagram page, and Facebook page. So we would love to have you join us, and again, grow together. At this point, I want to see questions from all the participants for Olivia and I.
I don't think so, but
I'm looking at the private chats.
okay.
All right. So I don't see any questions. Is there anything else you want to add, Olivia, before we say we wrap up our session and we say goodbye?
I think the only thing that I was gonna say before finishing is take it easy and know yourself, know your limits, and try. So these are the things that I'm reminding myself every day as an expat. And thank you for the opportunity to speaking here because it's also very valuable for me. And I think I'm okay.
Wonderful, wonderful. It was great talking to you. We have one comment, I'm sorry, before we go, from Ms. Hizlan. How do you deal with homesickness when it specifically comes to feeling of missing out on your other life?
Yeah. I am connecting like daily basis. I'm using the technology. I always call them, I mean, my friends, my family daily basis as a video call. It helps actually. And sometimes bad things are happening to them for sure. I mean, they get sick, they got, upset. Then it's getting harder for me to be away. I mean, for my family and
Yeah,
everything,
yeah.
but try to be involved in still, because even you are like two away, you are still like very close to them, thanks to technology. So
Mhm.
I'm spending my time on them.
Yeah, I can speak on that myself. I do get homesick very often. I miss my friends, I miss my parents. And so, what I do is I carve time in my busy schedule to speak to my friends and speak to my family members. and make sure that I don't miss those special days like anniversaries and home, birthdays and, uh, you know, marriages, engagements. So I make sure that I follow my friends. Thanks to social media, everything is there. I see my friends' kids growing up, graduating college, and it's very, very. Thanks to technology, we are still very connected, and but you really need to make sure that you carve those times
Yes.
to tend to your friends and tend to your family members and show them that you care about them. Being an entrepreneur, you can really get busy with your responsibilities, and when you're uber focused on what's in front of you, you tend to forget you know more important things in life. And my recommendation would be to make sure you carve some time for that, to take care of your loved ones and to show them you care about them, and that comes back to you in tenfolds. So it's good to have a good community. It's good to have a good network of friends, professionals such as Olivia herself, and you grow together. So you need that circle, and to grow together and to share your experiences and to get better and better at what you do. So, that being said, again, thank you for joining us today. And I wish you a wonderful week ahead and much, much, much more success.
Thank you for.
Alrighty. Have a wonderful day.
Bye.
Bye bye.